It was a warm summer afternoon when Lucy stumbled upon the doll she was playing in her backyard, digging trenches for her toy soldiers, when her shovel hit something hard. Curious, she dug deeper, her small hands working eagerly through the soil. Soon, she uncovered it, a dusty, porcelain-faced doll with curly black hair and a faded blue dress. "Look what I found, Mum!" Lucy called as she ran into the house, clutching the doll tightly. Her mother barely glanced up from her laptop. "That's nice, honey. Just make sure to wash it first." Lucy took the doll to the kitchen sink and scrubbed it clean. The more dirt she removed, the more its delicate features came to life. The doll's painted eyes seemed to sparkle, and its lips were curled into a faint smile. Lucy decided to name her Annabelle. That night, as Lucy got ready for bed, she placed Annabelle on her nightstand. "Good night, Annabelle," she whispered, before turning off the lights. The first night, Lucy woke up to a soft, rustling sound. She sat up, squinting in the darkness. Annabelle was no longer on the nightstand. She was sitting on the edge of Lucy's bed, her head tilted, as if watching her. Lucy assumed she must have knocked the doll over in her sleep. She picked it up, placed it back on the nightstand, and went back to bed. The next morning, Lucy's mother noticed something odd. The kitchen cupboards were open, and the cereal boxes were spilled across the counter. "Lucy, did you get up last night?" Lucy shook her head. "No, Mum. It wasn't me." Her mother frowned, but let it go. Over the next few days, strange things kept happening. Lucy's toys were rearranged when she woke up. Her crayons were scattered across the floor, forming strange patterns. And Annabelle never stayed where Lucy left her. Sometimes she'd find the doll sitting in a chair, other times propped up against the window, staring out at the yard. One night, Lucy woke up to soft whispering. It sounded like a child's voice, faint and sing-song. She turned on her bedside lamp, and there was Annabelle, sitting upright on her chest, her painted eyes staring directly into Lucy's. Terrified, Lucy flung the doll across the room and ran to her parents' bedroom. "The doll moved!" she cried. Her father groggily followed her back to her room. He picked up the doll and examined it. "It's just a doll, Lucy. You probably had a bad dream." He placed Annabelle back on the nightstand and tucked Lucy in. But Lucy knew she wasn't imagining it. The whispers grew louder each night, and the doll's smile seemed to widen, its painted lips curling into something sinister. Lucy begged her parents to get rid of it, but they dismissed her fears as overactive imagination. One evening, Lucy decided she'd had enough. While her parents were asleep, she took Annabelle outside to the backyard. She dug a hole in the same spot where she'd found the doll and buried it, packing the dirt tightly on top. "Stay there," she whispered, her voice trembling. For the first time in days, Lucy slept peacefully. But when she woke up the next morning, Annabelle was sitting on her nightstand, dirt clinging to her dress and hair. Her smile was wider than ever. Panicked, comma. Lucy screamed, waking her parents. Her father finally agreed to throw the doll away. He placed Annabelle in a trash bag and set it by the curb for the garbage truck. "See? Problem solved," he said, patting Lucy's head. But that night, Lucy woke up to the sound of footsteps. Slow, deliberate footsteps. Her bedroom door creaked open, and in the dim moonlight, she saw Annabelle standing in the doorway, her tiny hands clutching a dirt-covered shovel. "You shouldn't have buried me," the doll whispered, its painted smile twisting into something alive. Lucy's scream was the last sound anyone in the house ever heard. When the neighbors reported the family missing days later, the police found no signs of struggle, only a child's room with scattered toys and an old porcelain doll sitting neatly on the bed, her smile forever etched in porcelain.